Hello, it's Mike. I'm back again with a third video using the Tune bot to tune tom-toms. The first video that I did showed you me tuning these tom-toms on my Natal Arcadia kit for the very first time and how to use this to tune a set of drums. The second video, following instructions from the TuneBot website, I tried different resonances on the drums with the heads that were provided, which are Remo UT heads, a single ply head similar to Ambassador. And at the end of the video, I think I said I couldn't really tell much difference between them, because they were all quite resonant because of this single ply head. So what I've decided to do in this video is to try two other set of heads and to compare them with the sound that we got on the Remos. And the heads I've chosen are, let's run through them. First, the Remo that are already on there, which were UT or Ambassador. They're a single ply 10mm head. The second one is an Aquarian response to white coated head. This one is 2 ply. It has 2 layers of 7mm, the top layer being coated, in this instance a white coated. They also do it in a black coated. And the third one being Evans Black Chrome. This is also a 2 ply head. It's got a 7mm bottom head and it's got a 7.5 top head. So those are the two sets of heads in addition to the Remo that I'm going to use. For consistency, what I'm going to do is, first of all, everything apart from the change in heads is consistent. The bottom heads on these are the same bottom heads that I've used throughout. They came with the kit. They're quite a thin or thinner single ply head, thinner than the ones that were on the top. The drums are exactly the same, of course. 10 by 6.5, 12 by 7, what they call short stack toms, 14 by 12, 16 by 14. I'm even using the same drumsticks, and these were a set of drumsticks that came with the kit. They're not hickory, I think they might be maple, but they're about a 5A, 5B. I don't know the difference, to be honest with you. But so that's exactly, so everything is going to be the same. I'm going to try 2 resonances, the maximum resonance, so according to the TuneBot, and then the low resonance. So you've got the high and the low. I thought the ones in between, there was such a subtle difference that if you wanted something in between, you could fiddle about and do it yourself. But I thought, let's do the contrasting ones, so we can see what they're going to be like. They're going to be tuned to the post tune-in. Okay, and so again, everything is consistent. So the only difference is going to be what you hear from putting these top heads on. What I suggest you do to listen to the results of these is to use headphones if you can, because that'll be a better sound than trying to listen to them on your phone or anything like that. The series of videos are going to be as follows. The first series are going to be the high or maximum resonance, and with those then I've got the Remo, you hear that, then it goes into the Aquarian, you'll hear that, and then it goes into the Evans, you hear that. I'm not talking through any of this, but I've got captions that will come up that tell you which ones they are. The next set are going to be the same, i.e. Remo, Aquarian, Evans, but that's then with the low frequency, the low resonance, so you've got those two. The next section after that, I'm going to do them by brand. So you can have the maximum and the low frequency on Remo next to each other, and same with Aquarian and the same with Evans. So it gives these little videos give different alternatives between the brands of heads and the heads themselves in different frequencies, in different resonances. Let's see how we get on. Well, there you have it. There's no right or wrong answer. Decide for yourself. Could you hear a difference? Perhaps not. What I think was obvious was that the single ply was much louder and brighter than the double ply heads. The double ply heads had more controlled sound, but in doing that they were a little bit quieter. Now there's an obvious reason for this. Obviously if you've got a single ply head and you hit it, it's free to move up and down, and so it's more open, it can be louder. If you got two heads and you hit the top one, the bottom head is going to restrict how it moves, and that's going to change the tone and it's going to change the volume. Personally, my personal favourites are the ones that I've got shown on here now, which are the Evans Black Chrome. I don't know, I just like them. I've got them on two other sets, so I'm a bit biased on it, to be honest with you. But I found the whole process of using the TuneBot and doing this to be very useful. For instance, the bottom head, that made a heck of a difference when I was trying it, you know. It was very thin, and when I was tuning the individual drums, turning them upside down, putting the TuneBot on, tapping them, the bottom head was really vibrating. It was very noticeable compared with when I turned over and the thicker head on the top. The heads I got on these at the moment, these Evans heads, I actually took off another set to use, so I did have to buy another one. I did have to buy a 16-inch one, but I took the others off. And the other kit I had the thicker head. In fact, it had the Remo UT head on the bottom of it, so that was a thicker one. And I did a bit of a comparison, and there was a difference. There was less resonance with, in fact, it was this small tom I used, with that thicker head than it was with the thinner head. The first video I did showing you how I set it up in the first place, I don't know if you record it, you can go back and have a look at it. I ended up saying I thought that the bigger toms were a bit too resonant for me, and I was thinking about using an O-ring to put on them to cut the sound out. Actually, I've changed my mind about that. What I'm going to probably try to do is to use a thicker bottom head on it instead. Now, while I like these Evans heads and I like the way they sound, I also like them all. I like the Aquarian ones as well. I like it in this room. It works in this room for me, okay? It's just my normal living room, so it's got carpet, it's got curtains, it's got furniture. Because when you go out on stage with a band, it's completely different. You get other instruments coming as well. And I've noticed quite often that what sounds good in the house doesn't sound the same when you get on stage. So in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to I'm going to take these off and go back to the original Remos with this brighter sound. I'm going to try putting different heads on the bottom, thicker heads on the bottom, to try to control the resonance, because I don't really like them sort of loud, whereas I thought, you know, too resonant, to be honest with you, like buckets. Some people like that sound. I don't. I like the more control sound. But I thought I'd try them with a band and see what happens. You know, unless you try them, you don't really know. So I hope you found this of use. And who knows, I might think of something else to do this with in the meantime. I can just remind you that I was using the Tunebot gig. I found it very, very useful. I've been playing drums for 50 years. It's the first time I've really used one of these at all. And I must say, this particular exercise, I've learned a lot about the differences of what you can do with the tunings and different heads on there. So I'd certainly say, yeah, get one of these. It's not bad. Their website, as I said before, I pulled information off that's got ideas for how to tune toms, the intervals and everything. I really found this very, very useful and instructive as well. So I hope you liked that little video.